and welcome back to another episode of
Tube Talk.
Tube Talk.
Tube Talk.
How are we doing today, Albert?
Sophie, I'm very well. I'm good. The sun is shining. I've had my midweek treat, which we always have when you come do the
We get bakery treats.
bakery treats and a coffee when you come and do Tube Talk. So I'm in a very, very good place in the world.
That's fantastic. I'm very glad to hear that, Albert. And now, horses. Let's talk about last week.
Okay, let's do that.
All 5 of our runners finished in the top 5,
They did.
which was pretty fantastic. However,
Good,
there were
good.
2 highlights we're going to talk about.
Yes.
The first being Elusive Boxers, who came second at Waterloo.
She's been so consistent. She was second on Friday. Track was a little bit too firm for her. And she, off a slow pace, she got back, nearly got there. She ran 4th on Sunday, didn't quite back up. But her Friday run was good. She's going well. She really deserves a win. So we'll target a nice $25,000 race for her Wingatui next start.
Mm-hmm. And we also had Starry Beale come second on Saturday.
Yeah, and look, he was given the worst ride of the century at his previous start. And so was ridden, much better on Saturday. Unfortunately, he was in the stalls a long time and just missed the start. Got a couple lengths further back than we wanted, but he charged home, nearly got up to win, was second by about half a length. He'll go out for a spell now. We'll geld him, bring him back. And we think he's a really, really good horse. We do think he will be an open class horse, so he is a horse to look out for next time in.
Mm-hmm.
Next tracks.
And now we talk about this week, a chock-a-block week.
It's about this big this week.
Your hand went off the screen.
Off the chain.
That's how crazy it is. We've got 12 runners, so let's get cracking.
Yes.
We will start off at Waipukurau.
Big day at Waipuk.
Yes. I apologise greatly for my pronunciation. On
Spot on.
Thursday.
Yeah.
We'll start off in race 1. We have got Beltester.
Beltester on a reasonably quick backup, 12 days, but it looks a good race for her. We're basically, first up, we're happy. Second up, we were happier. Third up, she just didn't cop the track. She steps up to a much better staying distance this time in. We've gone to Waipuk because the track is going to be better than it will be at Rotorua next Saturday. She's got an outside barrier draw, but we actually think she's going well and she's a definite winning chance, definite top 3 chance. Sam Collett, the country's leading jockey, rides.
Mm-hmm. And in race 3, we have got Darcy Palmer.
Very good on debut a couple of weeks ago. Probably if we'd got to the front and just eased up a little bit, he would have won. It's an interesting race actually. There's 3 or 4 good chances. And there's a horse called Lincoln Honey that I hear the punt is going to go on. So that'll be interesting to follow. It's a first starter. But he's got a good draw. He's ready to run very well. He'll be hard to beat.
Mm-hmm. And also in race 3, we have got Rock Island Line.
Yes, a horse we have a high opinion of. Last preparation, he kept running 4ths. He's got the ability, just wasn't quite strong enough. We're happier. He's stronger this time. He's won a trial going in. The track conditions will be no problem. He's got barrier 4. He also, like Darcy Palmer, has a definite top 3 chance in the race.
Mm-hmm. And in race 4, we have got Titanium Jack.
Titanium has trialled really well going in. Awkward draw of 12. Danielle Johnson rides. If he'd drawn a sort of barrier of 3 or 4, I would have said at 10-1. He's a nice each way bet. Difficult from barrier 12, but I think he'll run well, and I think he'll be a real winning chance second up. I'm not discounting his chances, but the barrier makes it hard.
Mm-hmm. And in race 6, we have got Dashing Ruby.
We ummed and ahed about turning her out after a good last start, 3rd, but we have decided to give her one more. She seems to have come through the last race well and even firmed up a bit, which is good. Blinkers remain on. Nice draw. Should get a reasonably good run. It's a stronger field than last start. I don't think we'll see the best of her till she's a 4-year-old and has strengthened up. But it's a good opportunity for her to back up her last start 3rd with another good run.
Mm-hmm. And in race 7, we have got Rip Into Gear.
Rip Into Gear, the mighty Robbie Hannam on board. Barrier 7, it's a strong form race. The horses at the top 3 horses all have very strong form, very good form. She'll be slightly forgotten. She should have won last start. She got knocked over twice, got held up. It was the same race that Brahmarama ran 5th in, and he got knocked over. He came out and won very impressively his next start, and I think she can, even though it's a strong form race, I think she can win, and I think she'll run very well. Definite top 3 chance. She's over the odds at $12. Have a each way bet on her.
And in race 8, we've got Black Sav.
Black Sav, very good third last start out of her grade. Was blocked for runs, should have won. Drops to rating 65 grade. Same distance, 1400 metre suit. Track, slow 8's okay, wouldn't want it getting any wetter. Unfortunately has a wide draw of 14, so we're just going to have to see how the races pan out during the day as to how we ride her, but certainly on form she's a winning chance. And an important race for her. She's down to be sold next week, so her performance tomorrow might determine some decisions around what we do with her.
And that is the final 7 runners that we have running tomorrow.
And why pick her out?
Quite intense.
I'll be on course.
Dad will be on course. He'll be there.
May even have a sparkling lime brown after the last race.
Nice. And now we move on to Saturday. At Waikato, race 3, we've got Mighty Solomon.
He's a horse who ran a few weeks ago fresh up, but blew hard after that race and just told us that he wasn't quite fit enough. We've given him some time, we've worked on him, he galloped well on the weekend. He drops to rating 85 grade, but it means he's got a big weight to carry. 61.5 kilos, putting a 3 kilo claimer on down to 58.5. Barrier 7, middle of the field is okay. Track conditions will be good for him. It'll be just dead. It's a very, very strong field. That's a question mark, but a horse of his quality, you'd expect to see him. You'd like to think he'd be there or thereabouts and running in the top 4 with further improvement to come.
And in race 5, we have got Prince Mambo.
Yeah, a horse that, if he ran poorly last start, was going to be his last race, but he ran well. He ran 5th, beaten less than a length. He's got an okay barrier draw of 6. Sam Spratt in the saddle. He drops in weight but goes up in grade. It is a stronger field than he met last start, which makes it a bit tougher, but we expect he's trained on well. And if he can race handy, he may lead, but if he gets a nice trip in transit, we'd like to think that he'll be running well again and be in the thick of it.
And in race 6, we have got Shipshape.
In the listed 1100 metres, obviously a big step up for her. She ran in a maiden last start, but was unlucky, ran 3rd, got blocked, should have won. Steps up to a stakes race, has a good draw. Sam Spratt on board as Jake Bayliss, who rode her last start, has gone back to Australia. A filly with a lot of ability. We've galloped her left-handed and she handles that well. It is a strong field though, there's no denying that, and it's a big ask for her at just her second start, but she can run well. She can certainly run well and pick up black type, which would add to her value.
Also on Saturday, but in Sydney, in race 6, we have got Albard.
Very, very good horse. Ran in the chairman's handicap last start, over 2,600 metres, didn't stay. He drops back. He's a month between runs, drops back to his best distance of 2,000 metres. His work's been very good. He's had 6 starts at 2,000 metres with 5 wins and a second. He has got an awkward draw of 9 of 10. Gets him with a nice weight, and it's a listed race. It is a strong field. Ecuador it'll be hard to beat. He's a very, very good horse. But so is Alward, and he's a distinct winning chance. He's a good winning chance, in fact, and he's getting ready for the Brisbane Cup next month. But if the weather stays fine in Sydney, it'll come back to a good track, which will suit him. Very good horse.
And our final runner of the week is in Singapore on Sunday. In race 7, we have got Holy Grail.
And as we said last time, we thought he'd run well and much better than his 100 to 1 odds indicated, and he did. He got back last and he stormed home. Ran 5th. It was a good run. He wasn't that far off placing. He runs in a similar race over a similar distance. Unfortunately, he's drawn wide again. Barrier 13. He'd come into 12, I think, of 14 runners, which is difficult on the poly track. Not all that keen to go forward with him. I'm keen to just let him relax again, track into the race and finish off. And if he does that, he should run well. If he'd got a good barrier draw, I would have been significantly more confident. I think he'll run well, but the barrier draw makes it a little bit tough for him. But looking forward to seeing him. He won a trial midweek as well, just topping himself up for this race on Sunday. Craig Grylls rides.
And now, bet of the week.
And the big news, of course. What's the big news about bet of the week?
The big news is our bet of the week won last week, meaning we have a streak of 2.
Yes, and the week before, $6.70 2 weeks ago. Last week, $4 won by 5 lengths. We said to people, get on. So we're going for 3 in a row.
Trifecta?
No, treble.
That's the one. And it is, drumroll please, It's a Wonder, running at Waikato in race 1 on Saturday.
Yes, we're not going to get rich this week, but hopefully we'll get to $53, hopefully. Look, it's a hurdle race, and he's got top weight, and he's never won on a dead track before, and it's going to be a dead track. But he's been really well prepared for this race. He's had 2 runs going in, and he's run really well on the flat. Harvey Wilson, who's an equestrian rider, trains, and his horses invariably are fit and can run very well. So I think he's primed for this race over 2,800 metres. He's got a good record over hurdles. I think he's looking at the field. There's a few there that are just kicking off, and they may need the run, and I think he's a really good bet. So win money on It's a Wonder this Saturday.
Indeed. And the final thing we have to discuss, Father.
Yes.
What is that horse in the background?
Right, well, we discussed our Rockefeller last week, and she's now sold out. So we'll quickly talk about this colt, Reliable Man Symphonia. And the big thing about him is he is going to Australia to be trained by the champion trainer Chris Waller, who is, as we know, he trains Winks. He's trained, might be 93 Group 1 winners. Look, get into this colt. I'll keep it brief. He's got a beautiful pedigree. He's got a Stars pedigree. We're setting him for the Derbies. You run for a minimum of $100,000 on a Saturday. Over there, he can win a lot of money in a short time. He can be your big ticket to good racing in Australia. Get involved, race with us, race with Chris, and we'll have success and a lot of fun. So give me or Matt a call if you'd like a share in him.
Go racing, your best bet for
Success!
Woo! Thank you very much, Albert.
Thanks, Sophie, and we shall talk to you next week and recap our bumper week.
We shall.